to Mr. and Mrs. B's Brain Dump, and it's Mr. B on the beast. And we're on a little mission this morning to go and pick up a memory card for a camera. So we'll talk about the camera in another vlog, but what I wanted to talk about in this one is since I was made redundant voluntarily, I had some money and I decided to invest a fair chunk of that money in the Brain Dump channel. Those investments take various shapes and forms, but this particular one, and there will be a vlog about each investment kind of thing, this one is about I've built a new computer and it is a beast. It really is. I've rendered a couple of videos with it already. I've not messed about overclocking it or anything else. You're going to stop and put her hand up, that's fine. Yeah, it's an absolute beast. So what is it? What have I built? Well, the case is kind of more cosmetic, but it is functional. But it looks like Mrs. B wanted it because it looks like Iron Man. So I'll stick a picture up so you can see the case. So that's the first thing. It's a full case, so that if I ever decide to add to it, I can without being constrained. If any of you've built a PC before, there's nothing worse than struggling to get around inside. So that's the case. It's got two absolutely huge fans, but extremely quiet in it. But not that they really needed that much, because the next thing is I've made a water-cooled PC. That's right. It's got some other fluid in as well, like a coolant, but basically it's water-cooled. Oh my word, it's the first one I've ever made, but silent. Absolutely silent. And then the other plus point is, little nod, the other plus point is it keeps the CPU really cool. I mean really cool, but quietly and effortlessly. It's ridiculous. The CPU is colder than the room that the PC sits in most of the time, so there's another plus. So that's the way I've cooled it, which means the whole machine is completely quiet, and I'll probably do some sort of comparison to the old one, which sounded like a Dyson Hoover, and other Hoovers are available, and the new PC, well, basically you can't hear it, especially if all the fans are turned down low, which it runs at anyway. I've never found a need to actually have them on full power. The CPU is an i7 processor. Just get past this traffic. Sorry about the wind noise. So yeah, the CPU is a i7 6-core mental thing. It is absolutely mental. And each core's got 2 threads, if you know anything about computers. So when you look at your task manager and have a look at processes and the monitoring, 12 windows open, or 12 threads are shown, which is mental. And they're all sat there twiddling their thumbs at the moment. I've not stressed it out at all. Each thread is running at 3.4 gigahertz, but due to the nature of the PC that I've set up, I'm sorry if I'm boring you, I know it's not about bikes, but it gets to the good bit at the end. Yeah, each core runs at 3.4 gigahertz, but, or is it megahertz? Oh, I'm not sure. Megahertz. I'm not that much of a geek. But due to the way that it's built, each of those threads, cores, can be overclocked to 4.5 megahertz or gigahertz effortlessly, without, again, because of the way I've called it, the CPU just goes, whatever. So that's mental. It's got 32 gigabytes of SDD3 RAM, I think it is, SDD3, which is like quad speed, quad something. Got that in it. It's got the graphics card that I purchased before, the Twin Frozzer thing, which is a 4 gigabyte card, which is mental. But that said, and the whole reason why, I mean, that's pretty much the PC summed up there, really. There's probably some bits that I've forgotten, but that's the main components, the expensive stuff. Oh, I've got, sorry, the other thing that's important about where this is leading to, 2 solid state drives. I've got a system drive, which has just got the operating system on, and pretty much try and keep it clean if I can. That's a solid state drive, the fastest ones you can get at the moment, and also the main drive where all my video stuff will be processed and rendered before it goes up on the cloud, is a 1 terabyte solid state drive, and remarkably not that expensive when you think about what we're talking about here, a solid state drive. Anyway, so I've done all that, and you think, what's that got to do with the channel, Mr. B? Well, I'll use the computer to render the videos. Now, a couple of issues that I was having editing my other videos, and I got so far behind footage and actually rendering them into something that you lot can watch, was firstly actually editing the video. I'd pick up a piece of a clip, try and move it around, and it would chug and everything else, and it wasn't because of the graphics card, funny enough. The graphics card that I bought is more than man enough to deal with anything pretty much. Gonna be some filter in here, and it'll deal with anything, but the only thing is that the processor's required to actually handle the shifting things around and moving things here and cutting and slicing and dicing, and the CPU was the bottleneck. Well, that and the actual hard drive. How was that? So yeah, the CPU is one of the real bottlenecks, and the other thing was the hard drives as well, where you're feeding the video footage off the hard drives. They, although they were raided and stuff, still not man enough. But the main thing was the CPU, hence why I've had to build that PC, to get over the bottleneck of the CPU. So where are we going with this? Well, a 10-minute video on my old machine would take approximately, depending on how complex it was, you know, with the different layers and stuff, anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. 2 hours of my time. Okay, I can do other things while it's rendering, but then when it hasn't rendered properly or something's wrong, you've got to render it again. Nightmare. Now, I've rendered a couple of videos already. I can't remember the exact times. I'll put some up of what they actually take, and I'll tell you how long it took to render this very video that you're watching now. But preliminary tests suggest that it renders at least 3 times faster than me recording. In other words, a 10-minute video should render in 3 minutes, which is loopy. But it does mean that I can push out content really quickly. And the other thing, editing is a pleasure. I can pick stuff up, move it around, drop it down, and it's there. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna have a think about that now for a minute. Oh, you want that picture there? Oh, let me have a little think. And I couldn't preview the stuff that I was doing. Cheers, buddy. I couldn't preview the stuff that I was doing in high res either, so it was hard to actually see what was going on. It was just a mess. Now everything's in full high definition in a separate screen, and it plays like it plays when you watch it back live, kind of thing. It's just a beast. And talking of screens, I had to buy a new screen because my second screen blew up. So there we go. That was a major investment into the channel. I mean, let's face it, the computer isn't really used for anything else other than doing videos and editing, and there we go. So that's the first bit of news for you. I've got a beast of a PC now, and it just absolutely knocks the socks off of anything. Yeah, you wait there, mate. So not only am I now riding a beast, I've got a beast PC. I'll chuck some pictures up throughout and stuff, and you can look at them in that. And that's what we've got. So I'm a happy chappy. So there you go. There's news about the new PC. Let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, maybe you want to build a PC and you want to know how it's done, let me know. Maybe I could do a how-to or something. I'm not a geek, but I can put a PC together from bits and pieces. So there we go. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, ride invisible. Bye.